Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly referee today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Mongoose Publishing's outstanding science fiction role-playing game, Traveler, 2nd edition. And we are using this game to play through a modified version of their module, the Borderland Run, a Reach Module 5. And with me today are the stars of the Borderland Run campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up, we've got Graham.
Hi, I'm Graham. I am playing Dane Loverick, who is a former drop Marine, Imperial Marine, Black Ops, Force Commander. And I'd encourage you to look at the last session we ran, because are we playing Traveller? Or are we playing Blades in the Dark? I'm not sure anymore.
Nice. Next up is David.
Hi everyone, I'm David, and I'm playing Dr. Ilias Bedell, co-owner of the Rift Wanderer and a gifted physician who will have to put his skills to the test very soon, I fear.
Yeah, and last but certainly not least is Carl.
Hello, I'm Carl. I'm playing Ankert Guvel, who's a Imperial raised Varker. He's also the pilot of the Rift Wanderer, and make sure it only suffers a ding or two when we're flying.
Nice. So last session found us, let me grab everybody here and copy, still on, I believe, the planet Hilfer. And where are we here? There we go. What do you guys recall about last session? Put the captain aside here. Come.
We actually executed a really smooth operation to rescue this prisoner that a rival gang had taken. I was shocked that it went so smoothly.
In spite of some unexpected complications along the way as well. The two where you guys infiltrated was... there we go. A facility about 3,000 kilometers away from the low port. And what do you guys recall about the plan itself?
It was slightly seat of our pants. We spent a long time making a plan that was slightly seat of our pants. It involved getting close as we could with the ship, and then coming in our two grav vehicles. Some stealth involved, and trying to get round effectively to what you might regard as to that facility's back door, which was relatively successful and probably helped overall. And I think we were fortunate as well in that we didn't have any schematics. We didn't have any intel on the exact disposition of the forces in there. We did use some high-tech stuff to work out numbers, which was really good. But I think what turned out to be our target, which is the prisoner, which was the daughter of one of the three faction heads, was in a cold berth, and we'd been given some early warning that might be the case, but actually our entry point into where she was being stored, and I use that word, was relatively quick. So our entrance and our egress was facilitated quite quickly. It did involve the use of some old skills from a few characters, I think, on the way. And the disposing of some possible obstacles, but actually, as Anchor rightly says, I think we did a pretty good in and out, and didn't lose anybody, and we think we managed to carry out the prisoner, who is, as far as I know, is still in the cold berth.
Yes.
Yes, because there's a complication in the form.
That's a complication.
There were two complications. One, which so far hasn't caused any issues, is that there's actually a community of hundreds of people living around the facility. And the second one is that the prisoner was injured during the we are supposed to presume her kidnapping, and has been shot, and only being cryo-frozen is what's keeping her alive at the moment. So waking her up will be tricky.
Yeah. And I think where we left things, I see a pretty high stealth roll as our last roll there. So I think you guys have successfully made it back to where you had stored your grab vehicles, rather than having the exfiltration. I think there was a thought that you were going to have Captain Gani and Tila Toril, who did join you on this expedition, come swooping in to kind of help bring you guys out. Did Alonso, I think, stayed behind as well, right? Or did he?
No, he was there.
He was with you guys infiltrating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we're picking up with you guys reaching back at the grav car. Before we do that, though, let's have everyone roll a d6. Let's see how much luck you guys are playing with today.
Oh, yeah.
Coverage.
3. Nice. Ooh, okay. So 10 luck for today.
10.
All right. Then, as you're arriving back at the grav vehicle, you have Tila Toril carrying one of Captain Gani's excess firearms. I think he's surprised probably to see you guys. Although, yeah, I imagine, have been communicating over the comm links, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then you arrive back to, 100 or 150 meters away from where the facility is. Doesn't appear that anyone has discovered anything as of yet. No, still nothing. I am being a little heretical today because I was looking at them again. I'm using my Marvel Multiverse dice today.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love the hand feel of them. They're a little oversized. So, first session not playing with our TAS dice. The TAS dice are almost like 60% the size of these ones, so I'll be playing with these today. But we'll see. But fortunately, so they have not treated you poorly yet. There's no indication that anyone has, noticed anything awry in the community. What would you guys like to do next?
Does the cryo tank fit into the grav car in terms of transporting it?
Oh, I think. That is a good.
A couple of bungee clips and just drag it.
Yeah, at 500 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Was that I posted a GIF about James moving, where like a guy takes a corner too quick, and then him and the two pieces of furniture he was holding on to in the back of a pickup come flying out. That may be replicated here. Why don't we do this? That strikes me as there isn't a skill called Dad. So why don't we do a mechanics roll? If someone would like to give us that.
Oh my goodness. Who's our resident odd job person?
Probably might be me.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Elias has nothing of that.
I got it. Mechanic is 0, so I got a +2.
Okay.
For the education.
So at least you don't have this will be a 6, I think. Like, this is not going to be
Yeah, same here.
a tasking thing.
I could assist, but I don't think I'll do much good.
Do you have a 0 in it?
I've got a 0, yeah.
Well, actually, that actually might help because I think you can roll with advantage then. Or with a boom.
I'll try and help, sort of, No, I think it needs to go in this way. No.
Okay.
Careful, don't jostle it too much.
Okay.
All right. All right, here goes.
Yeah, just move the recycling out of the way. We'll get it in.
The captain can walk back.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So that is well and truly secured in there. Look at 2 6s. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Tessellation.
So yeah, like you could even have to with a roll that good. You guys have managed to secure it in place with mag settings, or I imagine there's some kind of hooks or some kind of the sci-fi equivalent of hooks and whatnot to be able to attach this thing. It's designed to be transported. So
Chromatic bungees.
Chromatic bungee hooks, yes. Okay, so then with that, there's nothing preventing you guys from returning to the Rift Wanderer.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's get there. And then how do we contact who we're supposed to deposit?
That is a good question, which I don't believe we have an answer to as of yet. You do have your contact.
Yeah, our liaison could probably arrange something. I think Dr. Ilias would first like to make sure that the girl is okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
do you want to get her out and make sure she's conscious and healthy before we contact?
Anchor, she's definitely not healthy. She has a gunshot wound that needs urgent medical attention.
Well, I know, but you want to do that first before we contact.
Tila Toro will, I'm assuming this conversation is happening as you guys are kind of riding across the Hilfer Deserts to get back. And he says, "What? She has been shot.
Yes.
Will she live?"
We're establishing this. We think so.
We have the best doctor in 12 parsecs.
Yeah.
He looks over at the doctor.
There, right?
His eyes a little narrowed. Indeed. Then, unless there's anything else you guys would discuss on the way back, we can picture you guys arriving back at the Rift Wanderer, parked on the deserts of Hilfer in the kind of rocky, not cul-de-sac, what do you call it, a box canyon, I guess, where Anchor had landed the ship.
Sure.
You roar back up into the vessel. What would you guys like to do next here? This thing can be transported, and I imagine it goes upstairs as well. Because you would have to. It's stairs leading up to the. Or is it stairs or is it a ladder that leads up to the second deck?
I mean, it might be that it needs to go in one of the staterooms downstairs.
Yeah. Oh, we have like
You got a spare?
the low berth facility. Do we have a med bay? Where's the med bay?
Med bay is on the second deck, or deck 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you guys. Nobody thought this through. Getting trauma victims. All right, we're just going to pull them up the ladder, and then.
We got low berths. Be right. We got 6 low berths.
We have low berth down here.
Yeah,
located there. So we can swap out an empty low berth and plug in this one.
Well, I think that the trouble is that Dr. Ellis was hoping to apply his discipline, right?
Right.
If it's possible on the ship, yes. If not, the other option is, I guess, we can contact Batu to say, good news-ish. Can you reach out to Ganzerik's horde and say, do they have somewhere where we can take her to treat her? That doesn't involve us moving her, but Well, there isn't a full med bay here. I've sort of improvised one, but it does involve getting her. Can we bring the nurse bot down here?
You could definitely bring the nurse bot down here. I think there must be some way to be able to bring things up to the second floor. Let me take a look at the map here.
What are you wanting to do, Doctor? Are you wanting to
save her,
de-ice her now, and work on her?
Ideally, I'd be in a full facility, full operating theater, but it might be worth to reach out to Batu and see if that is something Ganserik's horde has.
Maybe they have. I mean, what's the tech level here? And maybe they've got a better facility. Let's have a look.
So all it says
I will do it on the ship.
It says iris valve up, iris valve down. As far as the thing is, it doesn't actually say. There is a different icon for lift. So there is, like, for elevators going from one level to the other are the other. I think that you guys must be able to jury rig. Like, there must be some way you got some of the heavy stuff and the nurse bot up to the second floor as well. So I think we may be overthinking. I may be overcomplicating this than what is the actual case. As far as the medical facilities, like, you don't. I think you took enough stuff to have effectively a surgical suite up here, don't you? Between all your diagnostic devices and the stuff you took from Dr. Bancroft.
Yeah, I have my med kit with the nurse bot. We have a personalized scanner.
I can do combat
portable
injuries.
med scanner. Mm-hmm. So I think overall there would be, we have some trauma packs and things, laser scalpel.
Yeah.
So I think we can. Dr. Elias is confident he could do it here. It's just under ideal circumstances. So if there is an operating theater or a better facility somewhere, he'd prefer using that. But if nothing is available, he'll do some sort of field surgery here.
I think
it's like that scene in Star Trek 4, isn't it? When they were trying to work. Is it Star Trek 4? When they're trying to work out when Bones is saying, "Don't go there, the barbarians."
Oh yeah.
So I mean, so it's not going to be a complication to get the what we have the woman in upstairs.
No, I mean, it must be
okay.
If you can get luggage and stuff up there, I imagine you're going to be able to get this up there as well. Mm-hmm. And it is designed to be portable, so I think you can safely get that up there. I'm trying to find our nurse bot here.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. I mean, if anything, we're going to have to invest some money into like making this thing like a lift or something.
Yeah, it's on page 164.
Oh, great! Thank you.
The robot handbook.
Nice. Robot.
There it is.
Nurse bot. Okay, so yeah, that's fantastic. So definitely, you'd be rolling with a boon with Nurse Bot's assistance. And yeah, that's incredible. Okay. So, do you wish to contact Batu before proceeding with anything?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess we should start the process so they know we're coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could say something non-committal, like the target has been extracted and we are looking to return.
But you want to stay grounded until you finish, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Ilias, you don't want us airborne.
Depends on how good of a pilot you are, Anchor. But if you can promise me no
depends on how
shifts
steady,
in
how steady
direction, then
well, how steady are your hands, Doctor?
Tila Toro is going to ask this, what happens if she dies?
It's a fair question. I think we were contracted to recover her. I think the expectation would be alive.
Your intent with rescuing her was to maintain stability. Yes?
Yes.
If you return her injured,
then we're unlikely to maintain stability. However, such are the things when you undertake delicate operations.
if you return her dead or injured, will there be a difference in how it is received?
There are lots of unknowns, but my expectation is it will be seen differently.
And the outcome?
The outcome is we're going to succeed, and the doctor is going to bring her back, and we're going to be okay. That's the outcome. And we'll work to that until we have to work to something else.
He nods. And he returns the rifle to the captain. And as he's making his way back, he will stop, and you can see he's not quite... He seems indecisive as to how he is going to... whether he's going to say anything or not, but he lands on turning to you, Dane, and saying, "Thank you for including me in this."
But I take the opportunity to look him in the eye and say, it was a privilege, and let's hope that very soon our situations could be completely reversed.
He holds your eye contact for a time, and you can see there's almost like the involuntary twitching in his whiskers. Perhaps. And he nods. He didn't snarl or anything, so I think you got the closest you're going to get to like an Aslan kind of default position. And he goes to, return to his quarters. And I think as this is maybe happening upstairs once he's helped you move her cryopod up here. Ultima 1 is waiting in the corridor as well. He passes Telatoro, they nod to one another, and Ultima 1 will say, "She is injured then."
Yes, gunshot wound.
"If there is any way I can be of assistance, Doctor, I am at your disposal."
Do you have any, I guess, Dr. Ellis would know, but I assume Ultima 1 has some medical knowledge in his vast store of
He does, not to the degree that your specialty would be, though.
Right.
But enough to be an assistant.
Most definitely.
Dr. Ellis will happily accept all the help he can get on this.
Very good. I can interface with NurseBot and assist with that. Both have a wireless link. So he can work as truly as like 2 extra sets of hands in the surgery. Anchor and Dane, then it leaves it to you guys. Do you wish to contact Batu before the surgery or wait until afterwards?
I'm also concerned that we shouldn't be sitting here in the desert. I mean, I guess they haven't mustered the group yet, but I'm sure they will be they'll start combing the area, I'm sure, once they found out the person's missing.
I guess there's 2 things I'm going to double check it here, but I'm pretty certain the game tells us how long it takes to warm up an engine, as it were. So you could keep your engine running. The downside is that then it's something that could be picked up by scanners. So let's see here.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Power.
We should contact Batu, I think. Because maybe they could send, reinforcements or something.
Yeah. Let's see here. Repairs. Oh, you guys were going to look into security for the ship too.
If Anchor wants to fly, I'm sure it's a great pilot, so the ship will be steady, and I assume surgery is done on ships like this regularly, so it might be a minor inconvenience, or would it
probably not in atmosphere?
Too much interference?
Not in atmosphere, though, right? Because it's whatever turbulence that planet-bound airships would encounter, they would encounter this here too.
Oh yeah, true.
So it definitely is something. It wouldn't be an ideal situation because if try filling a drink to the brim on an air flight, right?
Yeah. I mean, we could go orbital.
You could, yeah.
I mean, she's currently safe and in stasis, so we don't have to do the surgery immediately. So we could fly somewhere else, or go orbital, or
yeah. And actually, orbital would be that would be the ideal situation, and you might have an excuse for why you're in orbit and lost among the other ships too. Because remember, there's others that are being put in orbit because of the delays at the high port.
So let's get out of here first.
Okay. So, surface to air, you have a 1G thrust engine, I think. Mm-hmm. So that is 2,000 seconds. I don't know how long that is in minutes. I can't do that math in my head. Let's see. 2,000 seconds.
33 minutes.
There you go. Half hour. Okay. A little more than half hour. So that gives you a little more than half hour to do what you want. Anchor, you're able to get the ship up and out of into orbit. There's a bit of back and forth with the high port. Are you intending on just putting yourself in a low orbit?
Yeah.
Okay.
A low stable orbit.
Okay. I'm going to roll randomly here.
Pirates.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, pirates, exactly. There's pirates waiting for you. No, there is. I was rolling to see. I thought conceivably there's a chance that someone might, from the ground, try and contact and find out any ships that are kind of like going out. Does not appear to be the case at present. So you get yourself in a stable orbit. You can give us a piloting check if you like. This will be an easy task, I think. It's like a 4.
Piloting.
So you get a chance to crack out that.
Oh yeah. Wow, is that another?
With a boon, but even without.
Yeah.
That's still.
I rolled 3 both times. Sorry, I gotta uncheck that.
No, that's okay. All right, so then you're easily in orbit. Do you wish to contact Batu before you, while you're in transit, or you want to wait until you're in orbit? What do you guys think?
Dane's up to you.
Or do you wait until after the surgery? You may have answered this already, and I just got distracted looking up other stuff.
I'd like to get some early data from the doctor as to how he's doing. All
right. So between yourself and Ultima One and NurseBot, you're able to get the surgical suite set up. It's sterilized everywhere. You yourself are ready to perform surgery. Anything you wish to do, I imagine you have, performance of that opera you saw on Gibraltar Station, perhaps playing in the surgical suite.
Yeah, absolutely. It reminds him of back in the lab. Almost like a full team, the NurseBot, Ultima One. It's not quite the same, but it reminds him of the good times.
So I think once it goes and it starts playing, you see Ultima One kind of make eye contact and and then let's see, it's first. What is it? Medic. Here we go.
Medic, yeah.
Yeah.
Medic.
All right. So I think let's take a look at the wound section, see if it gives us any guidance on this before I make shit up. I mean, I'll happily do that, but let's just see. No sense in reinventing the wheel if the wheel already exists. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh yeah, because there's not like critical wounds in this game. It's just if you're down to 0, you die. Full stop. Let's see.
Yeah.
So let's see if Miracle Max is right, and there's fully dead and only mostly dead.
Yeah, just exactly how dead is she?
Exactly. Here we go. So I'm on page 83 of the 2022 update surgery. Here we go.
I was on 69, but let's go 83. Oh, yeah.
Oof. That is a lot. So if you... Surgery restores characteristic points just like first aid, but if the check is failed, the patient loses more characteristic points equal to 3, plus the effect of the medical check.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Once that one characteristic is back to its maximum level, the patient can benefit from medical care. So I think she is likely then down to an endurance of 1 to represent the...
Wow, okay.
Oh, wouldn't be the endurance, it would be strength at 0. Yeah, because I think you lose endurance first, don't you? Then it goes to strength, then it goes to agility. Yeah. So we'll say that strength is at 1, agility is at 0, endurance is at 0.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's really...
Well. That's bad.
They froze her at the moment of, expiry, as it were. It's the surgical equivalent of, like, pulling milk out of the fridge and being like, oh, gee. That has gone off. Here we go.
Oh, well. Good luck.
I think we'll give her...
Thank you.
She'll have a strength of 7 normally, so it's 6 you need to restore for her to be able to benefit from regular care. So, I think then, because it's based on the degrees of success, I'm assuming surgery is not more difficult than other things. There's just a higher consequence for failure from it. So we'll keep the difficulty at 8, and we'll go judge the effect from there. You will be rolling with a boon, Doctor, and you have 10 points of luck. So, at your leisure...
Do I benefit from the portable Medi-scanner and my Medikit?
Oh, yes, you do. What do they grant?
So +2 from the Medikit and +1 from the portable scanner. Assuming I've had 10 minutes to run the scanner.
Yes, so that'll stack a +3 on top of whatever.
Okay,
yeah,
looking good.
Yeah, remember, don't put the plus sign in, too.
Yeah, otherwise
Otherwise, she fucking dies.
And the ship explodes for no reason. Okay. He'll have checked, the readout of any like fragments inside the wound and things, just be optimally prepared for the surgery.
Yeah. So you've run through there's probably it's probably advanced enough that you can run through like simulations of the surgery as well, where there'll be holographic displays to figure out what what procedure you're doing. I can't imagine how advanced it must be, because even today where you're using those like robot caliper things in microsurgery. So this must be even more so, perhaps guided microbots.
Well, here we go.
Here we go. Look at that.
Oh.
Holy smokes.
Oh, wow.
9.
So it would be, I think, give us a 1d6, and that'll be how many hours of surgery this is. Only an hour, too.
Wow.
So you guys are in orbit for about an hour, and then Dr. Ilias, how do you announce the success? You've stabilized her. Now it's a matter of more traditional, or at least less invasive and less risky procedures will be able to continue with long-term care.
I think we'll have the classic scene where it takes off a bloody surgical glove and then sort of hits the intercom button. Yeah, and just announces the patient has been stabilized, still requiring medical care, but no immediate danger of death.
So for that hour, what were Anchor and Dane doing? I imagine there's a bit of either trying to distract yourself or just pacing and thinking.
Anchor be monitoring chatter, especially from down below.
Yeah.
To see if they're on to us yet, and monitoring sensors, so that type of thing.
Okay, so Anchor is on the bridge.
So autopilot,
Yeah.
So
I think
stable orbit.
I think Dane would have been sort of pacing around, and he's thinking of all the different options and ways out, trying to work out, if it doesn't go well, what our options are, what the possibilities are, what he's going to have to say. We may have to say with his leadership 1 and carouse 0. It's kind of like, he was rehearsing probably the worst just in case.
You know, one thing I thought of after the last session too is the marksmanship practice, because for those of you who are more skilled, that's one of those things that you to keep your skills fresh. We're not going to mechanically penalize anything, obviously, but to keep your skills fresh, you do need to physically practice it. It's a physical act in the same way that if you don't drive for a while, you're going to feel rusty.
Yeah.
So I ask you to give some thought to how he and perhaps anyone else who is more, marksmanship inclined will be keeping their skills fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So then, Dr. Ilias, we cut back to you. You've got the intercom on.
Let's see. Surgery was a success. Patient is stable. Will require further care, but we're good for now. And I think people can hear that there's definitely sort of a sigh of relief in Dr. Ellis's voice. I think a lot of his more recent years was research rather than full-on emergency surgery like this. So there probably was a bit of doubt, but he's like, we done it. It's good.
Yeah. Well, it's also likely that, the surgeons are a very specific breed of doctor as well. Like, it's a specific skill set that is different from what most doctors require. So I imagine, people forcing, assuming, well, you're a physician, so you can do the surgery. Like, wait, what? So then why don't you give us another, with the same bonuses, another medic check with education as your modifier. It'll be 8 or higher. This is just for long-term care. This will set her up for the next day of recovery.
Wow.
Great.
You're on fire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then it's page 82, it said. Let's see. So let's see here. So with your first roll, that means her strength is back up to full once again, and you've begun restoring agility as well. Can't remember is it agility in this game? It is agility. Dexterity, there we go. Let's see here. So long-term care. Natural healing is 1d6 plus endurance modifier per day of full rest. And are you keeping her sedated?
Yes, I think in the immediate aftermath of the surgery, probably overnight until tomorrow, he'll keep her sedated, and then slowly, and also hopefully by then we have a better idea of where to take her or what's happening.
Great. So with
I'll keep her more stable now.
Yeah, and with with that result too, I think you'll be restoring 6 more points in addition to her healing. So she may be, depending on how tough she is, she may be right as rain by the end of day tomorrow. So, with the outcome of the surgery known now, what do you guys wish to do next?
Well, we need to work through our contacts.
Yep.
Simple as that. And we need to understand from them how we interface back.
Okay. So how does that go?
Contact our contact, I guess. Batu,
yeah.
Okay. Does everyone wish to be on the call for this, or?
Can do, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, we should have the doctor on the call so you can, if they need details.
So perhaps you're all on the bridge then, because that is probably where it would be easier to have everyone on the call. So you call, and you guys can hear. She picks up very quickly. Yes, Rift Wanderer. Have you word?
Yeah, this is Rift Wanderer. We are on our return from a successful extraction.
You can hear her sigh.
There were complications, however.
What sort of complications? Are you all well?
Everyone is well, including the target. However, the target unfortunately received what appears to be gunshot wounds at point of capture and has been kept in suspended animation since then. We have undertaken surgical procedures and recovered her fully. However, without our intervention, she would have died.
There's a pause on the other end. Understood. Is the target... Is it safe for her to be transported?
Yes, it is here, and I'll turn to the doctor.
Yes, it's safe. Ideally, you will have some kind of sickbed, hospital facility, or somewhere where she can rest up and be monitored, but she should be fine.
What do you intend on? What form or what condition will she be delivered in? Is she awake?
Oh, I see.
Still resting after the surgery.
Wait, she was frozen.
Yes. She was frozen in a standard low berth.
The only thing that saved her being cryo-frozen.
So as far as she knows, she was shot, and that's likely the last she recalls?
Yes. Which is why we should be in a safe environment to wake her up, potentially with someone she trusts nearby, and letting her body recover a bit more before the stress of waking up hits her.
I think... Are you able to return her to the berth?
From a medical point of view, I assume Dr. Elias would assume that's okay.
Oh,
now
yeah,
that the surgery
totally.
has been done, yeah.
Yep. The worst of whatever happened is done.
Yes, she
Why do you ask this, Batu?
Well, you had expressed previously a desire to not be known to have taken a side in this. Perhaps if she is none the wiser as to how she came to be back with her kin, then none will know other than us.
We're happy to be guided by your preferences as our contacts.
You did not strike me as... You struck me as practical and not in search of glory.
You have to be practical about these things.
Then perhaps it is best if those who need to know will understand your role in this, but otherwise keep all who need not know completely unaware.
That would assist the overall objective of what we're trying to achieve.
When do you expect to return to the low port?
Anka, what do you reckon? How are we doing?
We have somewhere we have safe passage, and we're not going to be assaulted or attacked by opposition.
I think at this stage, I am still your designated liaison. We can make arrangements for the portable low berth to be returned, and you can conclude whatever other business you have on Hilfer.
Very well.
Sounds good.
We'll do that. Yep.
And thank you to all of you.
Of course.
Dane, should we be concerned about how these two bounty hunters kidnappers, ne'er-do-wells, will react if they find out that their precious cargo is gone? Will they put two and two together? Might they put two and two together?
It's possible. It depends what kind of businessmen they are, really. Do they really want to mess with us?
They might have their own complications too, right? Since
Yeah. They aren't going to get it back. They must know that. So, if I were them, I'd be getting off planet as quickly as possible. But I'm not them.
right.
So, when would you guys like to return to the Lowport?
Let's conclude this as soon as possible, I think.
Yeah.
Be on our way.
Okay.
I guess we're now anonymous.
So then, with that, you will be able to return to the surface. You will be charged a second low berth fee, but I think that Batu will arrange to absorb the cost for that for you, so you need not take that off of your totals.
Okay.
I can't remember what the cost is for it, but it would be there. I also noticed when I was looking for information about the power systems, it says ships are typically serviced every 2 jumps. And I think the last time you guys serviced your ship was back on Gibraltar. So just be mindful, you guys jumped from Gibraltar to Tech World, and then you went from Tech World to Helfer. So
we need to service. How long does that take?
Yeah, I've got a maintenance payment at Hernan's Claim.
Oh, is that where it was last serviced?
Yep.
So that would have been at so Hernan's Claim. You jumped from there to
Tech World.
Tech World, and then from Tech World to Helfer.
Yeah.
So you're ready for a servicing again. All the fun of oil changes, but more expensive. The role-playing game. So, anything you guys wish to do before we turn our attention back to the surface?
Put her back into cryostasis, make sure her vitals are recovering, and prepare a file as if in a surgery that I would hand over to, so that Batu can pass that on to whoever takes over her medical care to make sure they have all of the right information they need.
Awesome. Yep. It's a DC 4, I think, medicine check for waking people up or putting them under for cryopods. If I recall, it's either 4 or 6. Nice. That's better or good enough for either of them. So she's safely back in the transport pod. Anchor, would you give us let's see here. I think it'll be, let me take a look at your character sheet. Let's see what you got training in here. I want to see, what I'm interested in seeing you roll for is your conspiracy mindedness.
Investigate.
Yes, absolutely. Why don't you give us an investigate check? I think this is with intelligence instead of education.
Yeah, it's intellect is a default.
Oh, intellect is the normal. Okay, great.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is going to be what happens as you guys are up there. You're monitoring comms and whatnot, and you're thinking about conspiracy stuff, and you're thinking about, someone mentioned about the doctor, when you guys were discussing this, mentioned about the threat of the bounty hunters. You know, oh, what are we gonna do if they piss me off? That just it kind of lodged in your mind, and you're thinking it over, and you're thinking of, if these guys obviously have a pretty sophisticated operation going with just the two of them, right? And it's a high risk operation. So if you were in their role, what might you do as contingencies? Because you have to assume that things are going to go wrong, even with, you know, the most carefully plotted and you know, most cautious approach to this kind of operation. What do you think that they might do?
Hit up someone on the inside.
Probably someone on the inside is a good chance. Yeah, definitely that. What else do you think? If you're in their shoes, what are you doing so you know that that person that you left with a bunch of strangers, they don't just...
blow.
What was that, Doctor?
The cryopod is rigged to blow.
Could be rigged to blow.
Or traceable.
Could be rigged for trace
yeah.
as well.
Yep. We should check for bugs.
So that would be probably a computer's electronics check. Assuming it's something sophisticated.
I have electronics.
You don't have the computer specialization?
No, I have sensors and comms.
Sensors will work too, definitely.
Okay. I've got computers. Yeah.
You have computers? What is it? Mine's at 2.
Oh, no, you're better. You're better.
I have computers as well, so I can support.
So why don't you roll with a boost then, Anchor?
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, we're on.
So,
It must be that Jeff and
James.
Jeff and James bring us bad luck.
So what you find, Anchor, you're maybe snooping down in the cargo hold or wherever you guys have this thing stored. Maybe it's in one of the other bunks, you know, one of the other berths. And Doctor, you come out and see Anchor is kind of looking over this thing.
Everything okay, Anchor?
I don't know. I was thinking about the bounty hunters and how they might operate. At worst case scenario, they have a mole in the inside, but the way these families are structured, maybe that's not the case. Also, another bad case would be if this cryopod has explosives, but at the very least, they probably have it bugged. So I'm checking for both.
Nicodemus will swear. This is yet another.
So as you're looking this thing over, the one thing that is evident is there isn't anything that is like, there's no explosives or whatnot. That's actually a fairly, because I think that broadly speaking, the 3 ways you would use explosives in Traveler would either be to overload an existing power source, to have an energy source that's in there, or to have some kind of chemical thing that would detonate. Scans could identify any 3 of those things, or the latter 2, and then the first one would be there's not really enough of a power source in here to make a substantial enough explosive, apart from perhaps to kill her. That isn't the case with this. It wasn't sabotaged that way. There's no sign of any energy source or chemical source to serve as a detonator. There is, however, cleverly hidden a portable transmitter in here. So they have clearly they didn't trust whoever was with Firedog faction, this sub faction within them. They didn't trust leaving it with them, so they do have this bugged, but it doesn't seem like it's activated yet, because Doctor, you guys got up here in 30 minutes and then the surgery happened. This is like less than the length of a movie for when you guys are looking through this thing and you found it. It seems like they it's the type of thing where you got to activate it. It's not activated all the time. It needs to be triggered and then it will be traced. Has not yet been activated from what you can tell, Anchor.
Can we space it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, wouldn't it be cool if you could spoof it to activate to a different location.
You could definitely do that. It's the type of thing that it is. You think of this as the traveler equivalent of the tracer you put inside the wheel well, thing. This is not a very expensive device. It's a very small device, but it's the kind of thing that easily you could take it out and replace it somewhere else if you like.
It's easier to space it. I mean, we could try to spoof it, but
you could also just place it on something else if you chose.
Yeah, like a piece of trash and kick it out the airlock.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to spoof it. No computers, no.
Well, I guess that's the question: is do you wish it to be activated, or do you wish it to be? Because if they activate it and they realize it's in orbit somewhere, whether it survives exposure to vacuum is another question, I guess. But do you wish to just destroy this thing or to disable it, or do you want to have it to, when it activates, for it to be in some other location?
I mean, you could stick it on me and we'll see what happens.
Well, I could just give. I think the best thing to do is destroy it, but
okay.
You want a confrontation with these folks.
Yeah, with a roll that good, I think.
But we're with their objective, right? Their prisoner. So I'd rather them not be in close proximity. The easiest thing to do is to just throw it out the air, put on a piece of trash, throw it out the airlock, and then if they activate it, oh wow, it's in orbit and we're not even there anymore. So.
And you are aware they have no ship right now, so.
And they don't have a ship, right? So they were like, "How did that happen?"
You might as well be on the Imperial homeworld for their ability to get to it.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could give it to, it depends how much you want to destabilize things, but if we could give it to the faction leader's location, give it to the faction leader and just have it, if it goes off, then they can just sit and wait for them to come along. The people that took his daughter just turns up. Oh, that's a shame. What were you expecting her?
As long as we can make it so that we can make sure it doesn't turn on. Like while we, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're rolling 11, so that's good enough to you're able to disable this thing right now.
Okay.
Other than, so then, like, whether you wish to have it active again or whatever, that's an easy enough thing.
Yeah, at the very least. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'd say spoofing it would be something different, but for disabling this thing or having it active or like cutting the power source, you're absolutely free to do that with what you rolled.
Yeah, so then that might be a good idea, and then. As long as the person, as long as the person we saved is safe, we could give it to the faction, to even Batu or a faction leader, and say, they were bugging it and turned it off. Have fun. Because then when they activate it, the bounty hunters are going to go there, right?
Yeah. Here's a parting gift.
Yeah. So they can have their revenge, but we don't need to.
Yeah.
We don't need to. We don't need to bring violence to our unarmed ship.
Okay, so then you've got it disabled. You're landing on Hilfer. Anything else you guys wish to do before you meet up with Batu?
How long is maintenance going to take? I'm just wondering.
You won't need to do it until you reach Drinax, and then I think it's a few hours.
Oh, okay.
Do you have to do it now? Hold on, let's see here.
I think is it monthly?
I think it said every 2 jumps is typical.
Is it every 2 jumps?
But I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here.
Got you. Running costs and maintenance.
It's probably a modifier to the.
Two jumps, you're right. Commercial starships usually make 2 jumps per maintenance period. Okay.
Only once per year this needs to be performed at a shipyard. If a maintenance is skipped or skimped on, roll 2 dice every subsequent maintenance period with a DM equal to the number of maintenance periods skipped. On an 8 or higher, the ship suffers a critical hit.
Yeah. So we will book in an MOT.
Okay. And then Oh, so the critical hit is rolled on the poor maintenance table.
Right.
So it's not a matter of like you're going to
it.
destroy a thing. It's all. I have some good news, guys. At least 2 of those results are things that will not affect you guys because it deals with turrets.
Okay, I've got the costs associated with that. So
and it says 4 weeks. Faces many costs every 4 weeks, so that's where.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. That's not how long it takes. That's how often your maintenance thing needs to be performed. Did you see how much it takes or how long it takes? Because I thought when we did it last time, it didn't take all that long. Let's take a look.
I don't see that.
Okay, so it's not under mechanics. Is it
The
under
speed of the plot.
engineer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing. I don't see it listed there. Maybe it's under.
I mean, it's a standard maintenance check, so I don't think it will take that long.
No, I think it's like a 1d6 hours kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I seem to recall it only was like a day's worth of work for you last time.
Yeah.
So we'll find. Oh, here we go. So landing. Oh no, landing a starport takes 1d6 times 10 minutes. Okay. So we're looking that up before. Oh, you know what? And actually, last time it wasn't maintenance; it was repairs. So remember, you took that damage from that pirate ship.
Okay, I've got hull repair costs in Argona.
Yeah. Here we go. Property repairing a critical hit requires 1d6 hours for engineering or mechanics, and you can jury rig after 1d6 hours. And where's... Oh, ship combat is where they have the repairs rules. Good to know. And... it's dogfighting. Where's the repairs to hull damage? That's critical hit. Spacecraft damage scale. Well, anyway, it's a D. It'll either be a D6 or a D6 times 10. That's the next scale up from that. So we'll figure that out when you. Well, I guess. Do you wish to do that here to avoid that, or do you wish to? I think maintenance is probably D6 times 10.
Okay, we'll do it here, I think.
Yeah, and if I'm wrong about that, let's see here. Because like repairing a system is a D6, but the maintenance, I imagine, is a little more of a soup to nuts kind of thing.
Yeah.
Although, like, not to use the oil change as an example, but like an oil change takes a lot less time than like replacing a component. Yeah. I'm looking at space combat and I'm not seeing it there.
What are you looking for, Kevin?
I'm looking for hull damage to see how long that takes.
Oh, hull. Okay.
Because I see the critical hits is on page 159.
Okay.
Oh, was this the thing that was the hole in this edition? Remember last time we looked it up, it was someone in chat or someone who posted. Let me grab the first printing of this, because that's where I think it was last time.
Costs us 45,000 credits to do the whole repair costs. I didn't make a note of how we calculated that.
Yeah. I remember now.
Maintenance is only about 4,000, just over.
It was, in the 2022 update, they missed it.
Yeah.
So I've got also, as is custom, I had to go and grab a new book so everyone have a drink. Okay, here we go. Every ship needs maintenance. It's running costs. Here we go, 161. No, that's damage. Here we go, repairs. Hull damage. Each lost point of hull damage can be repaired with a routine mechanic check of 1 hour for every 10 hull points remaining. So maybe we divide the hull points by 10, and that tells us how many hours it takes to do maintenance. Okay, rather than rolling a d6, that'll tell us, because it's probably a fairly routine thing to go through. How many hull points does the Far Trader have?
80.
80, so 8 hours, which I think is what we did last time.
Probably.
Maybe, yeah.
Yes, it's a long walk to get back to this. So 8 hours, it'll be 8 hours to do maintenance for this. So would you like to get that done when you're back down on the surface now, or would you? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So then, with you guys arriving back on, we'll do roleplay your interaction with Batu first, and then we'll take our mid-session break, and then we'll do some of the nitty-gritty stuff of repairs and trading and all that fun stuff. So, tell us what it looks like as you guys, or how you're planning on meeting up with Batu to exchange your rescued hostage.
Yes, Batu, this is the Rift Wanderer. We just need to understand how we undertake the transfer and what you've arranged and what we need to do.
I've arranged for the berth to be concealed. Did you share the information about the tracker?
I'm about to do
Okay.
that.
Okay. She says, "Yeah, we'll be by shortly after you touch down. We are ready to receive your cargo."
Okay. Just to let you know, just as an extra, let's call it an extra prize. The low berth was tracked, we think, by the original bounty hunters that abducted the target. It's not yet been switched on, or we've suppressed it.
Yeah,
it's been suppressed. However, we think perhaps it might be useful to also pass this over in its suppressed state with instructions on how to enable it to switch on, such that whoever you deem appropriate can be waiting for that moment.
There's a pause on the other end. Understood.
A little bit of justice thrown in.
So she doesn't say anything else. When you guys land, she and some other members, you can see from the markings on it, they're all from Ganzerbeck's horde, come on board. They secure whatever the thing is. They're like throwing a tarp over it or some other way of hiding what this thing actually is. Yeah. Transporting it off, and you're guessing that probably that warehouse where you had met up with her last session is likely where that is bound for the short term. She says, "Good, then, as a small token of my thanks, this," and she gestures to the berth, "has been paid for."
Thank you.
Thank you. I cannot speak for how things are done on other planets, but on my world, we have long memories.
We'll keep an eye on the news channels, and we hope to hear very little.
Give them the tracker and instructions on how to turn it on.
Okay. So she takes that as well, and then just be in touch when you wish to complete whatever other transactions are being done here. So, with that, we'll take our mid-session break, and then we'll come back and we'll do a whole bunch of math. Because you guys get to... Yes! So for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay. So we have. Well, let's see here. I think Jeff might be joining us too. Hold up.
So do you pause the recording, Kevin?
I did not. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So we're still recording. Okay.
Yeah. No, we're still going. When we take a break, we just take 5 minutes break, and then sometimes people put in like when the breaks are for it. But that is,
okay. That's interesting.
I'm not fussed. We don't really go into a lot of post production on our streams.
No, I know, but you've been at it for a while, so I just trying to get pointers for starting my thing up.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like people unless it's clean or something different, people won't latch on. But I guess it just takes time.
Yeah, it definitely, like it's. I do this because I like playing games with you guys, and I like interacting with folks who are viewers and whatnot, part of the wider community. And we've met many of our players were folks who were viewers at one point, right? So that's why I love maintaining the channel. But the as far as the numbers, like you can choose to do what you want and wait for it to find the audience, which is what I do, and if it never finds an audience, again, it's not really why we do it, But the other thing is try and chase specific, things and whatnot. In which case, then it just you got to decide for yourself how much you want to put in for doing what you think might get eyes on it, as opposed to doing something that you thoroughly like, that you actually enjoy doing. There can be overlap in those two, where there's those happy coincidences, but I don't know. Did not know. It's also like the algorithm on YouTube at the time of recording is just fucked. Like I will watch something that is outside of my usual stuff, and then the next time I go on YouTube, all my recommendations are whatever that one thing was, as opposed to the things I normally do, right? Scary. So like having your content picked up by the algorithm is likewise right now. Like, who the fuck knows what it's doing?
I feel like sometimes it seems skewed.
It likely is, because I mean, like, they want to,
especially for the new shorts and the new YouTube shorts. It's like, what? I don't even I care for that stuff.
I mean, it's trying to capture the TikTok thing, and the one upside for the TikTok isn't monetized. Shorts are, so like you do get.
Interesting.
YouTube it's one of the reasons why YouTube, out of the available kind of platforms, it is the one where, in theory, you can monetize the most effectively. But Twitch might have a better. I don't use Twitch at all, either as a viewer or as a content creator. But the Twitch has a different way of recommending and sorting things. So that, and as of 2 months ago, there's no restrictions on streaming the exact same content on both simultaneously. That's only a recent change, and YouTube, you can stream at a higher resolution than you can on Twitch, and they don't have any issues with you doing high resolution on YouTube and low resolution on Twitch. So, other stuff to consider, but we'll leave it to see whether Jeff is joining, but what I'll do is I'll post before I lose track of it. He may have been talking about he's ready for the trip to Drinax next time. But with Batu gone, now we have to deal with your trading. So
trading.
You were being given very lucrative options for some radiological material. As well as transporting the message from the intercessor to the king of Drinax himself, King Oleb the Sixth, I think. So what would you guys... Let's see here. Where's the...
Do we have money for speculative? Or no, not yet.
You do, and this is at these rates, there's a chance to turn a tidy profit on it because of the bending over backwards. It seems as if the Intercessor has made an arrangement for you guys to be able to pick up something at a song that would be resellable over on Drinex.
Okay.
Here we go, trade. So, if we go to our quartermaster, the purchase of radioactives is a base price of 1 million megacredits per ton. And there will be 1d6 tons worth of stuff available. You can take as much or as little of that as you'd like. That's the base purchase price, so it might be negotiated lower. You do have, this is a low population place, and you will be going to a high-tech place where it, oh sorry, it's not low population, it is desert, so it's available. You're going to a place where you're going to be getting at least a +1 to the result. But apparently you have been led to believe there will be favorable circumstances there. So
in Drinex.
On Drinex, yeah.
Okay.
So how much would you like to sink into this? It's currently 1 million per credit, and you have a bonus from the Traveler's Broker skill.
How much money do we have?
You're muted, Grim.
Sorry, thank you. I was spluttering. Yeah, we've only got 1 million. Sorry, just to summarise, we've got 1.1 million credits.
So if you can get an 18 as a result on your purchase price, you could get 2 tons of it.
Correct.
So let's take a look at your Captain's Broker skill, because I think he is the one who... Yeah, I think he might be the only one with broker.
It could be a local broker. If the deal's being brokered for us, it might be that's a particularly favourable... I don't want to call it a bung. But yes.
That's not really the way it'll be, you guys. He does have a +2 total to his broker skill.
Right.
Okay. And with the local, you can assume you're rolling with a boon.
Okay.
So, and then on top of that, because of favorable circumstances, you're going to be getting a +5 to it. So it's +7 with a boon so far.
Okay.
And we got 10 in the bank.
For luck, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
sink
just
all our money. When James comes back, what did you do? You spent all our money on magic beans. Captain Gunny's gonna be mad.
Yeah, the purchase DM that's a really good purchase DM. We wouldn't be able to get that. Okay. Was it +7, did you say, Kevin?
Yeah, so it'd be 3d6, and then we're going to add 7 to the result of the top 2 dice.
Slasher.
Yep.
3d6. Is it KH? Occupies 2? Not quite sure.
Oh, I'm not too sure.
Let's just roll.
Yeah,
let's roll 3d6.
Yeah, let's roll 3d6.
Let's do a 3d6 roll.
Add 7,
yeah.
So 7 plus 7.
7 is 14.
14.
How much would you like to sink into it?
4 points of luck will get us to 18.
There you go. So you have 2 tons of radioactive material on board. In theory, a base price of 2 million worth of radioactive material.
Yeah, let's see what we sell it for. That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
So,
should be interesting.
what would you like to do with the rest? And that puts, luck 4. Perfect.
I'm just going to update our accounts to show that we've got virtually nothing left.
We still got to pay for maintenance, but maintenance was like only 4K, right?
No, maintenance is paid. I've done that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So there is now currently 2 tons of radioactive material on board, which I believe leaves you like 53 tons left of space.
Mail. And we're not taking passengers, right?
I don't think you guys have been taking passengers since you took Tila Toro on board.
Right. But we can get a mail contract.
Yep.
Not on purpose. We seem to be collecting passengers nonetheless. But
Yeah.
Right.
But it's good to know you guys have a line when you guys have reached the okay, the kidnap, the human trafficking, that we're not doing that. That is where we'll take it off. What you'll also do is count one more day up because it'll be 8 hours of maintenance on the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And who would like to give us a mechanics roll? It's a mechanics 6 for that standard maintenance.
I think I have mechanics.
Okay.
I have a +2.
+2, okay.
Anyone else?
Cool.
Make sure I have it normal.
Here we go. Big money. Yeah, no problem at all.
Nice.
All right. So then the maintenance is completed. You've secured that. While the maintenance is being performed, you can find your mail. Let's see here. Doctor, would you give us a 2d6 roll, please?
We get bonuses because we're all like ex-military.
Right, this is just to check how much is available. Oh, 10. Amazing. 4d6 lots of mail available. So there are lots of mail. Pretty sure I've made that joke before, but...
Lots and lots of lots. Yeah.
Let's see here. Determine if... Okay, so we got that.
1D containers available. That's a good roll. 10.
10. I got to... it's freight traffic I'm looking at. Wait.
Yeah. It's a 2D roll to see if there is mail available.
Yeah, but probably there is. It depends.
Yeah, I don't think there's any modifier. On a 12 or more, the travelers are chosen to transport mail to the destination.
+1 for the starport. 6 or less DM is a minor, so that's straight. It's not an amber zone. World population.
Who's the highest Soch for? I think that's either the captain or the doctor, isn't it?
I think Alonso.
Oh, maybe it's Alonso. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, could be.
The highest Soch of the school is a 10, so that's +1. That puts it to 11. Highest naval or scout rank.
That was the captain. Yeah.
Okay, so that puts you over 12, so you guys can. Yep, you're selected for mail.
Yeah. Okay, that's
then
1D
D6.
containers.
Yeah, D6 containers to transport. Each takes up 5 tons. So why don't you give us a D6 roll, Doctor? 5. So there's 25 tons worth of mail. You guys want to take all of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have 53 tons left, right?
Yeah, I think so, right? You guys said it was like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 60 tons in total, and then there's the bike and the air raft.
So that's 125,000 credits income.
Okay.
On the...
Heading to Drinax. How much space you got left free then?
Quite a lot.
For 28 tons.
Yeah. Got 2 tons of radioactives and was it 5 tons?
You got 25 tons of mail,
25 tons of mail.
And 2 tons of radioactive. So 27.
About 13. It's about 13 tons left, isn't it?
Okay. I want to get freight then.
We have 40 tons of cargo.
I think with the air raft or something, we're about that.
See, air raft
We always
one.
have to look, don't we, at this point? We always have to look and see.
Yeah. I thought it was 1 ton, not 10, but maybe it is heavier.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, well.
There we go.
Okay.
Air raft.
But 60 tons of free cargo space.
Okay.
25.
It's 4 tons for the air raft.
And 1 ton for
I
the
think
bike.
standard cargo is 64, so with the air raft down to 60.
Yeah. So 60 with the air raft counted.
Okay, and then it's the G-bike is half a
27
ton.
taken.
G-bike's a half ton.
Okay. 27.5 tons then.
Okay. Then let's see here.
32.5 free.
Yep. The 27.5 or 28.5. Right.
Yeah. I think with 27, each of the major lots is 1d6 times 10. Minor lots are 1d6 times 5. Incidental are 1d6. I think we can safely assume that you will be able to fill up the rest of the cargo with freight. This is not there,
Okay.
There's enough stuff going back and forth here, like just with the dice modifiers that are applicable, and the bonus you're getting from the intercessors putting his thumb on the scale. We don't really need to roll to see whether it's available.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just assume you can
So
fill the
he's-
rest.
So how much tons? How many tonnage was that?
27 tons, and we'll be able to fill
27
your...
tons left. Okay.
So it's 5 mail, 2 tons radiologicals, and everything. We should have 32.5 tons of spare capacity.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
32.5 tons of freight.
The incidental does come in 1 ton increments. You'll have a 0.5 ton. Means, is there any other stragglers you guys want to pick up on here? Who happens to weigh a half ton? I mean, you could purchase
Another matching bikes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you guys actually have made some pretty good use out of that bike. If you wanted to try and snag one of those, it is, I think. The difficulty would be that the tech level.
We could.
Yeah.
We got to put our gym. Our gym is now in a small corner,
Yeah, 46,000 credits is what the bike costs.
and Lucy needs a space for her cage. So
Yeah,
that's today's name for our creature.
yeah.
I'm gonna write that down, Lucy, because I don't remember the last name.
It was a woman's name for sure. I don't remember who she was named after.
Yep.
All right, so then that leaves you at 0.5 tons, and then I'll leave it to your quartermaster to make that calculation. Then, is there anything else, first off, that you guys wish to do on Kelfer before you begin to make your departure?
I think so.
No, I think the doctor will spend the 8 hours of the maintenance period with Ultima 1 going back over like the surgery logs and just analyzing what could have gone differently, what could have gone better, even though it went very well.
Yeah.
Things like that. So he'll be occupied.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Anchor's working on maintenance. So.
Okay. So I think perhaps while you're meeting with Ultima 1, going over the logs, and he says, Doctor, may I ask a personal question?
Of course.
When was the last time you performed surgery?
I think back a bit, it's like about a year ago, not more.
Well, I have limited frames of reference, but I feel this surgery went quite well.
Yes, I think I'm pleased with the outcome, and thank you very much for your help with it. It's greatly appreciated.
I am at your disposal. with that completed, Anna says hi, by the way. I think my, what do you call it, meal cooking service is probably here. Sorry, does anyone else have anything they wish to do before you guys depart?
I think Alonso will probably go and get some cigars from the shop he tried to enter before his brain exploded.
He'll stop and wait for a moment and then enter the shop. Is Dr. Abdel accompanying him during that as well, or because I think he did last time?
Yeah, possibly he'll pick up some interesting spices or something, or like some local tea variety.
Okay.
So yeah, he'll be with Alonso, and he'll keep an eye out for the 2 bounty hunters while we're out and about, just in case.
Why don't you give us a recon check, please? Everyone's best skill, recon. So, I think as you are making your way through the streets of the low port, you actually do spy. Moving together, the two, and where are we here? We have him and...
Oh, dear.
Now, with that good of a roll, you were able to spot them before they... bless you. Before they spotted you. Would you do anything? Or act as if nothing is...
Yes, I think... if they haven't spotted us yet, I think I'll try and maneuver Alonso into the shop. Maybe a little bit quicker, just to hopefully we get out of sight, but we won't start running or anything, because that'll make it more suspicious. But if we can get into the shop before they spot us, Dr. Elias will try to say, Alonso, this way, please, quickly.
Okay. Someone's running around. So you two duck in. Why don't you give us a stealth check, please?
-3 if you're not... Right.
-3 if you're untrained. Although you can actually roll with a minus... Why don't you roll with a boon and roll -1, because I think Alonso has Jack of all trades at 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
We have 6 luck.
6. Oh yeah, you got luck. You want to spend your... you would need
everyone is happy with that.
an 8. You would need 2 points of luck in order to make that an average success.
Anyone have any objections?
No, do it.
So you do, and the two of them, you're able to spy the two of them make their... I'm telling them. They make their way past. The Varger seems particularly upset, but yeah, they make their way past without any indication that they've spotted you whatsoever. If you were to judge, just based on your role, you would suspect that there's a look of concern on the human's face. And they do seem to be in a bit of a rush.
Cornelius tries to feel charitable at all times, but in this particular case, having just treated their victim, he's pleased that they're concerned and seem in a hurry.
Nice. Apart from that one interaction with them, you don't have any other issues. Anchor and Dane, anything further you guys wish to do on planet before you make your departure?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think Dane is going to restrain his inclination just to try and get away for a while. I think that now is the wrong time. I think he's going to just decide this is not the place for him to have any sort of profile at all.
Okay.
So I think he's going to... His inclination is to do a few bars and just spend some time kicking around. But I think actually on this occasion he's not going to.
Okay. So Dane is maybe supervising the loading of cargo and whatnot. Anchor has been performing the maintenance.
Working on maintenance.
Yeah, that's where Dr. Ilias, perhaps, or Alonso calls back and lets you all know that they spotted the bounty hunters.
Oh, would they look like they were in a hurry?
Very much so, yes.
Being chased or chasing something?
Did not notice any chase, but they were either trying to get somewhere very fast or get away from somewhere very quickly. So either way, they seemed concerned and in trouble.
I'd like to be there. but good.
Maybe Batu will keep us informed if something untoward occurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here,
So the
Here,
last
Dan, come feed Lucy some raw meat.
Lucy being, of course, your lizard insect
Lizard chicken
thing. Yeah. So then it is when I think, Dr. Ilias, you are returning, is when you find at a conspicuous point, a place where you would not be able to avoid it. When you're returning, you find someone waiting who you actually recognize. Let me find this here.
It's generally bad news, isn't it, for people like us?
Yes.
While I'm looking, I will say I found the Lex Arcana sheet on Roll20. It looks quite good. So,
cool.
Yeah. So that is David's selection for charity games for the first half of the year. We got a couple of those like Walking Dead does not have one, and
oh yeah, not on Roll20. It's on they went with Foundry.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty. I've been running my game on Foundry, the one that I'm.
Yeah, I hear like Foundry looks like it's got a lot of great stuff. It just
it's good. I've invested so much in the
bandwidth to learn another game, another virtual tabletop at this point.
Yeah, there's some tricks to Foundry. One of which is you have to host your own server or find a place that hosts a server.
Oh, okay.
But
so do you self-host, Carl?
No, I subscribe to the Forge.
Forge, me too.
A lot of people on BS and Gaming or BSer Gaming
sure
do so.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, Alonzo, we had to trade you over for the prisoner. You're now an employee of the Fox. What are they called? The Fox Wanderers.
He's
not even listening.
No, he's not in yet. He can't. It's not so much he's not listening; he can't hear. And
there he is.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jeff. We traded Alonzo for the prisoner.
Good. That was a good idea.
We got an extra ton of radioactives out of you, so it was quite good.
Nice.
All right, and here, you know what? I've got this on, I think on a handout here. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. This is who is waiting. So, Alonso, your timing is perfect because you're returning from the cigar shop with Dr. Ilias.
Nice.
You guys have successfully returned the prisoner. Dr. Ilias saved her with surgery, and you're on your way back. You ran into the bounty hunters in town, but you hid from them. This is who is standing near, about a block or so away from where you're approaching. And as you two are walking along, Dr. Ilias, he kind of nods to you and gestures to come over.
Yeah, head over.
As a reminder, too, for those who may not recall, this is one of the two individuals who was with the Intercessor.
Yeah, the one who was making fun of me.
Yes.
Or belittling me or whatever. Yeah.
That was the woman.
No, it was the woman.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He seemed nicer.
There are so many, it's hard to forget.
Yeah.
So you make your way over to him, and he says, I'm led to believe that you will be departing.
Yes, we're just undertaking final preparations.
You've had the message for the Intercessor for 2 days now, and yet you remained. I also understand your vessel has seen much of our fine planet. You left, went to orbit, returned.
Realize we look at him and then say, do you often ask questions the Intercessor presumably already knows the answers to?
It is not so much the answers that are of interest as how one answers. You have completed all your work here?
Yes.
The Intercessor thanks you for all of your work here. It has not gone unnoticed, and he looks forward to you next gracing us with your presence.
Yeah, we are grateful for what assistance we could give him and the fine people of Hilfer.
The fine people of Hilfer have much to thank you for. And he extends his hand. Until next time.
A firm shake.
Offers the hand to you as well, Alonso.
Yeah, I'll shake the Varger's hand.
Until next time, then. He turns and leaves. So, with you guys back on the Rift Wanderer and your time on Hilfer for now at a close, what would you guys like to do? I guess first off, Alonso, is there anything else you wanted to achieve? You actually had an extra day after saving the girl to do anything you want. That you needed to do 8 hours of maintenance on the Far Trader.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. If you guys took me to the cigar shop, you already did what I would have done. So
Nice. Yeah, we're full on. Our hold is totally full.
yeah, that's awesome.
Except for 0.5 tons for Dane and others to work out and train Lucy.
I'll arrange for a take-on of sufficient fuel for our next jump. So 41 tons, is that?
Oh, you guys haven't purchased it yet, right?
I think we'd have done that along with the freight.
I think you can also afford yourself a 10% discount on the fuel.
Okay.
Because of the... it just seemed to work out, you know?
We spent all our money on magic beans,
Yeah.
Alonso.
Go in the dark.
Yeah, 1 million credits on 2 tons of radioactives that we hope to sell for 2 million credits at least.
That's awesome. We definitely need to upgrade the ship, and cash is key.
Yeah, 1 million of that we can buy a BB gun for the.
So then, if there's nothing else, then it is a matter of getting yourselves out for off planet and out to the jump point. So, let's see here. So it's going to take you about... Let's see here. Transit times. So about a day and a half, it looks like, with your jump space to get to the jump point. Anything you guys wish to do during those couple of days? Oh, you know what? Actually, Jeff, give us a D6 roll, please.
Oh, yeah. Still have some luck. Not much, but some.
A little bit.
Probably get some rest once you put it into standard. It's been a harrowing few days.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Although I know we can get rest in jump space, right? So
You can get rest jump space as well. Well, depending on your roll. Then, why don't you... Let's see here. Jeffrey, since you just arrived, why don't you give us a 2d6 roll, please? An 8. Okay. Actually, a 62. All right. So I'm trying to find the proper table here.
Is there anything we need to do before arriving at Drenax?
We will need to jump. Space combat, but I'm not aware of anything. Do you guys have anything you wish to?
I'd put my feet up for a while and chill.
It was a pretty stressful visit at...
It was.
Yes.
I could do the holiday, really.
Yeah.
I think one of the evenings during the jump, Dr. Elias will cook for everyone and just have some communal meal with.
Okay.
Ultima 1 will be invited, Tilatoril will be invited, so everyone is on the ship.
Yeah, make a roll.
Nice.
So is there a cooking skill?
Do you have cooking?
I don't know. No, I don't think so, actually.
would that be under steward? A steward?
Could be. You could use steward, I guess.
Yeah, steward. Steward would absolutely. So Alonso might help with that, because I think he's quite... he's got the steward skill, don't you?
I do.
I don't know where my next points are going.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll help you direct me. You're telling me what to make, because, this is a...
Yeah,
I'll do the actual cooking.
Yeah, I found this recipe and put up these spices, and obviously for Tilatoril.
It should be rolled with a boon if he's helping, so give us another D6 roll.
Okay. That will help.
So
there we go.
Plus one more, no, plus two more. So that's 8. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So you make the meal. Ultima 1 is happy to join, and Tilatoril likewise. Probably for this big of a crew, you're going to want to use the passenger lounge then for that. So what is... I guess so the only thing you pass there's a noble ship that you pass on the way out to the jump point. That's the only thing of interest. Unless you wish to engage with it, there seems that there's a imperial noble who is slumming it somewhere out here.
Would we do them the courtesy that we were given on our way in, letting them know that there's political situations, and would that be the done thing?
Yeah, if they're coming in, that'd be good to do. We could
Sure.
do that.
Yeah. So, Anchor, how do you... they agree... We'll call this is the... it'll be the Evening Lily is the name of the ship.
We could pass business on to the ones we've been dealing with, too, if we wanted to.
Batu?
Yeah, so I just let them know the situation and that they're going to have to pick a broker if you haven't been here before. If you have been here before, well, you can ignore what I'm saying. But we dealt with this particular faction, which was very good. So we recommend them. Have fun in Hilfer.
Give us a... is it diplomacy in this game?
It's like
There
something
is.
I don't have, probably. It's recon. It's all no.
Yeah, exactly.
Persuade.
There's
There's a persuasion. There's a persuasion.
Persuasion. Yeah, give us that, please. Persuade, yeah. Just like Elder Scrolls. Yeah, they love it. Once again, Anchor is a chatty Cathy on the on the other end here. They're like, oh, thanks very much. Yeah. So you've made a friend with another helmsman on some noble's ship. So we'll cut to you guys having your meal. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what is spread out before the crew here? Alonzo, have you dug into your stores? Dr. Ilias, is there a specific meal that you're looking to impress? Remember that Aslan typically do not eat vegetable, and they prefer to have just grilled and spiced meat.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think we'll create like a separate cooking station for Tilatoral's meal?
It's just a slab of meat put on a Bunsen burner. There you go.
Yeah, I was thinking more like, kebabs or something, and maybe some of them are just pure meat, where some of the other ones have, some nice peppers and onions and mushrooms on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lily's contribution will be making sure it's a nutritionally balanced meal and not just meat. And
Nice. Awesome. So you get everything set out, and Tilatoral is probably the quietest one in here. Now, you guys have... I'm just trying to think here. If you're having the meal, remember how the seating was like on Hernan's claim when he met with the family. You guys have enjoyed Dane. I think you enjoyed a meal with, it was either Dane or it was Alonzo, enjoyed a meal with Tilatoral here already, but I don't think you guys, it was a small enough party so there wasn't going to be any issue for who's at the head. Now, I'm not saying that he would make any issue with it, but it's something either you guys would probably, anyone who has looked into the customs of Aslan would have in mind, which I think might have been Alonzo or Dr. Ilias. And if not that, remember, Ultima One has traveled Aslan space, so he might bring it to your attention as something that you could consider.
Right.
and we had that group meal back on Hernan's claim.
Yes, with him at the head.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, it's not his pride here, and he's not the leader here. So it would be inappropriate. I'm saying this. I'm happy for him just to sit at the head.
Yeah, that's not about me.
Yeah, he should be our captain that should sit at the head, because he is our clan leader here. Not
Yeah.
and it
And should we
would
then
be-
sit Telatoran wherever the guest of honor seat is?
Yeah, if we can work that out, that would be really good. And I think that'd be more appropriate than putting him at the head, because that's placing him in the wrong position.
Plus, the last encounter he had with humans did not go too well with him, so... Is it too soon, Tilatoral? I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I can see him glowering at me. Well, then that suits that. If that's where you intend to do, he does appreciate and kind of recognize there's just a lot more going on in the formalized structure of the Aslan society. And if you only grew up knowing that, you might inadvertently assume that that's sort of how things always work. So knowing that he does have you've given thought to his formalized spot at the table, I think he will feel more comfortable at the table than he would otherwise. Just like, everyone sit wherever you want, kind of thing.
Right.
Like, which of these guys do I have to punch in the nose first? So, over the course of the meal, the Ultima One will say to Tilatoral that you may have heard, Tilatoral, but Dr. Ilias's surgery was completely successful, even in more effective than we even anticipated. And the girl was able to be delivered in, if not a better condition, than equal to what she was before. And Tila Toro kind of growls and looks at you. You are an effective physician, Doctor.
Thank you. It's my calling, I guess. It's what I do best.
You see, he
I
looks.
knew it would work out.
Yeah.
And Ultima 1 turns to you, Alonso. And how did you know that?
I have faith in this crew. We are destined for great things.
And fodder for your writings.
Yes, exactly. The story had to work out.
Those writings are based on truth, I would have you know. Especially the conspiracy stuff.
Very, very much so.
Is it rude? This is Ultima 1 speaking. Is it rude to ask of the rescue itself?
Not at all. What do you inquire?
Oh, I just thought it might make for a lively tale over our meal.
At that point, Dane gets up. He draws his plate to one side and says, I'm sorry, I've got some matters to attend to. And he leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tila Toro will kind of watch as Dane leaves, making note of it. Ultima 1 says, forgive me. Did I misspeak, Doctor?
No, I don't think so. No, we can happy. It went really well overall, I think. The doctor would also look after Dane as he leaves, sort of.
Increasing his dosage of antidepressants as he goes. Anything else that comes up over the course of the meal?
I mean, if he wants it, I would just let whoever asked at Ultima 1 said it went very smoothly. No loss of life. We completed the objective. I mean, no loss of life, I would say, as far as I know. And we completed the objective.
We were
Excellent.
very sneaky.
You very stealth won the day then.
Yes.
Yes. Planning. Pre-planning and stealth.
Tila Toro kind of
Execution.
Growls us a bit and says, they were not honorable opponents. They were due none in return. And Ultima 1 nods as if to understanding of what was said. You may recall he was not a fan of the undeclared war of assassins. So
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm sure they will get their just rewards.
our next destination is Drinax. Have any of you been to Drinax before?
No.
I have not.
Have you?
I have had the good fortune to travel. Drinax is one of the few living examples of Sindalan architecture and technology. It's a fascinating place, a flying city. And while such things may be commonplace within some of the worlds, the core of the Imperium, here in the Reach, much more uncommon. It is almost as breathtaking as the king himself is an impressive specimen. And if you are... it is a matter of luck at times, but the bazaar located in the floating palace is extraordinary as well. The vendors are not perhaps reliable in terms of what they have on offer, but if you are willing to look for opportunities, Rakondo's bazaar can find some very unexpected and extraordinary goods.
Interesting.
That is what we were looking for, extraordinary goods to upgrade the ship.
You could find much there. And he is a... It's said that he had his throne, the Iridium throne, transported from Noricum itself, from the former homeworld of the Sindalan Empire.
Iridium, like what the Emperor has?
It is similar, but unlike the Emperor's throne, this is said to have been fashioned from the hulls of his destroyed enemies. He comes from a long line of very demonstrative rulers. The Sindalans, if I might understate things, have never been known to be a subtle people. Dr. Ilias, you may find as well, there are more, it's said, more priceless works of art and technology in any square meter on King Oleb's palace than can be found in any sector in the Reach.
Well, we must make sure to visit.
It truly is a almost overwhelming sense of you cannot take a step without viewing yet another priceless piece of technology or art. Almost overwhelming. The contents could easily be held in any museum, but the palace itself, it has an overwhelming feeling of fullness, like our cargo hold does at present.
Interesting.
Do you know how easy it is to get an audience with the king? Is that something that's done? I've not visited it, so I don't know what protocol would be, but is it possible for people such as us to get an audience with His Majesty?
King Oleb is... I had the pleasure of his very enjoyable company when I visited, but that was due to my unique nature. King Oleb is most interested in that which differs. And Tila Toro says, the Sindalans were foes of the Hyrate. And Ultima One says, oh, quite. Unsuccessful in their resistance. And Tila Toro kind of gives the Aslan equivalent of a guffaw, I guess. And he turns back. If I leave the ship, I'm certain that we can gain an audience with King Oleb, but it is not necessary. If I leave, I fear that tongues will wag and those who may be in search of me, in particular, those of Jideko. Jideko, we haven't forgotten. I might leave, but if you demonstrate a manner to stand out from the normal, particularly your studies in genetics, the Drinaxi suffer from a number of complications involved with, how to put it, a restricted selection of genetics. When the planet was destroyed, the surface, there was only 20,000 of them that survived in the flying city or so. And as such, they have had to make use of advanced forms of genetics. In fact, you might find... forgive me. Ultima 1 would know this faster. I need to look it up. Prince Harak, King Oleb's son. 20 years passed. I understand that the Drinaxi suffered a catastrophic failure of their hydroponics system in the city and were unable to effect a repair. As such, they were forced, in their words, to acquire a fellow or a neighboring system, a seam, a very low technology, and I'm telling them, a much less developed neighbor, but one with more than enough in the way of foodstuffs. It was Prince Harak who led the armies that conquered Asim when they refused the overtures of Drinax, and he suffered, from what I understand, were quite difficult injuries. When I last was by, he was still being treated by the very best surgeons and physicians that the king could bring in. I understand that recently he has made a recovery. Given your professional interests, it may be curious to see what skill and techniques were advanced in order to effect his recovery. The king had to name his daughter, Princess Rao, as an heir in order to quell any concerns there were over whether Prince Harak would survive or not.
It's fascinating. And a potential in to get to the king?
Quite possibly. I understand that Prince Harak is presenting as completely recovered, so that could be a way of going in without exposing my presence on the crew.
Alonso, do you know if he's a fan of your books? Are they sold on Drinax?
I believe some of my works have maybe made it there, but I don't know that he would be a fan.
I could not say that I knew King Oleb. But the impression he gave was not of a man who so much engaged with culture as collected it. And Tila Toro kind of scoffs again. He is a conqueror. And Ultima 1 says, indeed. And Tila Toro says, then he is not so far from his ancestors in his ambitions. And Ultima 1 says, I feel that the conquest of Asim may have been an act of necessity more than one of a desire for expansion. But again, I cannot say that I knew the man. Forgive me, the king. And Tila Toro kind of scoffs again.
Right.
Do we intend to spend long on Drinax? Or will it be a short stopover?
Just enough
They have to
time.
stop. You have to stop goes like Hilfer, which was meant to be a short one, and
Right.
I dare not make prognostications about the duration of our stay at this stage.
Yeah, don't we have something to give to the king from the intercessor, though?
Yeah, we have a personal message to deliver.
So we might
Yeah.
get an audience with the king.
I mean, that was the hope.
Yeah.
Right.
So the message should be delivered discreetly, directly to the king.
Maybe you can agree to write his biography, Alonso.
Maybe.
His name is long enough.
If you
That's page 1.
if you do pull up an image too, allow me to share.
He looks like Brian Blessed, right?
He's very much like Brian Blessed, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That is
that's his throne. It's like
that's
that
the dragon throne.
Oh my gosh.
His ancestor's throne, brought from another world, Noricum, to Drinax.
Wow.
This guy.
He also has, as is traditional for the Drinaxi Star Guard, they wear flying harnesses effectively. The Brian Blessed reference is pretty hard, but it is said because of King Oleb's impressive form, he actually requires 2 of them.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Part. What are they? They're not vulture. They were what were they called in Flash Gordon?
Hawkman.
The Hawk. He's part Hawkman, part Baron Harkonnen. I guess.
Yeah, so they
Part Joffrey Targaryen, not Targaryen. Joffrey. Man, it's so bad. Game of Thrones has been gone for so long. I don't even remember the last name.
the names. Yeah.
Joffrey Lannister.
Yeah. So what do you guys wish to? Oh, is there anything else you guys wish to bring up or discuss over dinner?
I think they've given us quite a bit of insight here.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I heard that in Drinax, if we have the coin, we can, or the cred, we can buy anything. Maybe we can upgrade. If our deal for magic beans goes well, maybe we can upgrade some ship systems.
Not for nothing, the Sindalan Star Navy used to be notwithstanding that they lost in their conflict, easily a level of technology that would match the Empire or the Imperium. So, like, there may be, you never know after, centuries of scavenging this stuff and whatnot, who knows what kind of, like, particle barbette or whatever is kicking around,
Wow.
On there. They were very, very much a conquering and warlike empire.
It'll
Interesting.
just have dragons and skulls on it.
Yeah. It is very also, we've talked about this a couple of sessions back, but like you can very much think of like 70s sci-fi with a lot of the like wood panels and the curved things, 60s, 70s. That's very much the design they go for the Sindalan Empire. Very Baroque.
Baroque, yeah.
So then what, sorry, is there anything else you wish to discuss?
I think we're good.
Okay. So then, as you guys are wrapping up dinner, Tila Toro thanks both Alonso and Dr. Ilias for the meal. And as everyone is sort of heading off to their, to their respective, whatever their tasks are for the rest of the evening, Dr. Ilias and Alonso are maybe cleaning up things. Dane, where would we find you as everyone is breaking for a meal? Are you back in your bunk? Are you working out downstairs?
I'm in the cargo gym area, just working out.
Okay. So you're finishing
rigorously.
up. Yeah. So you're finishing up your set, and then you get up from the bench, and you see that Ultima One is standing there, and he says, "I'm sorry,
Hello,
Dane.
Ultima One.
Hello, Dane. I wanted to ensure that I had not given inadvertent offense.
You're a very curious kind of a person, aren't you?
I wish to, if we are to be shipmates, I wish to be an inoffensive one, and I fear that I have given offense.
I don't really mind offensive shipmates. And you have caused no offense.
Good. I trust that with that I did in past or do in future, you will inform me so that I might make amends.
I will inform you. I won't necessarily need you to make amends.
I see. Well, I will leave you to your exercises.
I'm just done. But, do you exercise?
I have no need for it. There is subsystems within that permit me to maintain my biological components.
I sort of nod and sort of go away muttering about, I wish I had some of those components.
Give us a recon check.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Yeah, sure. Okay, here we are. Go. No modifier, submit.
You guys are sitting on
6 points of luck.
6 points of luck, and you got 12 minutes left. You want to give one?
I'll if it's okay, people, I'll grab one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go for it, please.
So as you're walking away, what you hear Ultima One say, and clearly it's meant as a under the breath kind of thing. No, I don't think you do. Ultima One leaves for it. So after 2 days of, is there anything else, I guess, of that you guys would like to do during that 2.5 day of travel?
I think Dr. Elias will just check with whatever bioscanner Geiger counter he has to make sure these radiologicals are staying well within their crates. Just,
Yeah.
an abundance of caution.
Yeah. Stocking up on anti-carcinogen or anti-cancer drugs. So as far as you can tell, things are secure on here.
The nurse spot has profession domestic cleaner. So I guess we're not nursing. It can be used
Get
for
to
nurse.
it! You can hear NurseBot muttering too. I didn't go to fucking 6 years of robot nursing school for this shit.
Yeah, there's some sick in aisle 3. Go and sort it out.
Exactly. Dispensing sawdust. Oh, god damn. Anyone have anything else they wish to do before they reach the jump point? Nada.
Does the nurse bot have prescribing as part of its capability?
It would probably have anything that is delegated to it by its by whoever is in control of it. So it'd either be the doctor or Ultima One has connected with it, but it would probably be the doctor who sets the like permissions, I guess, level.
Okay, I'll check with the bot to see whether it can prescribe me some more kind of like sleep assist drugs.
How would you set it up, Dr. Elias? Would you trust the thing to not dispense? What are the sort of safety parameters you would set up for it?
Yeah, I think I would let it do basic things that are, I assume it has medic too, so I assume it has the knowledge to sort of gauge doses and things. But it will update Dane's file and my crew, health files that he has requested for more.
Okay.
So you get your medications from NurseBot.
Okay.
I'll have to load an image of NurseBot too.
It's just a repeat.
Okay, and then you. So we see Dr. Elias in his office, and you see, that the thing comes up. Anything else before you guys reach the jump point?
Good night's sleep.
Okay. Then, with that, you will reach the jump point without any other incidents. So,
That's good.
to conduct jump travel, it will hold on, 1.27 million kilometers. Holy smokes. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I was checking the time, make sure I wasn't making you take too long or not long enough. So first thing is to calculate the astrogation. The jump needs to be plotted. This is an easy astrogation check. It's a 4. Is it the captain who was trained in astrogation, or any of you?
I actually think it is. Yeah.
I can. Dr. Elias has some astrogation training as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give us your astrogation check, please. It's only a 4
Captain's
you need.
feeling ill.
No problem.
Yay.
Then it is firing up the jump drive. Anyone have engineering J drive other than the captain? I mean, Anna does, but, we knew that.
Okay, so jump 2, so that's actually a 3 onto the next roll rather than a 5.
It's a
+3 to the next roll. It's down the chain.
Oh, is it a task chain?
It's a
it is task chain. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's a task chain.
Yeah. So then, why don't let's see here.
I mean, I have jack of all trades. If you want slightly better for
How hard could this be? Why do this?
untrained.
We'll assume, and you guys tell me if you're okay with this.
Food, but not.
We will not, there won't be any consequences for the characters necessarily, because the rest of the crew will follow the consequences. But when we have these situations where one crew member is the one who has the skill, my suggestion is we just roll 2d6 and we add whatever that skill is to it to reflect the the dispersion of different specialities amongst the crew.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who would like to give us a 2d6 roll, please? And I'll check what your bonus is here.
Well, Alonso, you really wanted to do it.
Yeah, Alonso.
Oh yeah, sure.
So here, Captain, let me get on that. That black box machine thing.
So we get to. Oh
yeah!
Look at that! Beautiful. So no difficulty. You guys drop into warp or to
Jump.
Yeah. Wrong game, Madison. Andrew picked his charity game today, so that's why I got.
Nice.
Still no takers on the Doctor Who role-playing game, but we will be playing some Star Trek, so that'll be fun.
Maybe next year or next half.
Yes. Well, I think I'm going to get Doctor Who to the table at some point later in the year, just because I remember reading the second edition and it's really good, and I love the setting anyway. And they've released a new set of adventures for it, so there's some great stuff out for it. It's just that it's not a game that I probably would run as an ongoing game. And lately it has been Elder Scrolls that has been dominating the pickup games. So
I know nothing about Elder Scrolls. So.
Oh, it's super fucking good. You don't even know nothing about the setting. The game we play.
No, I mean, I know it's a game. There we go.
Yeah,
it's a game.
I think, Carl, knowing how you like Warhammer Fantasy 4th, I think there's a shit ton about it you would really like as well.
Yeah.
So let's roll this though. First, Carl, would you give us a D6 roll, please? Okay. Let me smile slightly and nod. Okay. Then, would Jeffrey and Graham each give us a 2d6 roll, please?
Was that a 2d6, did you say?
Yeah, 2d6s, please.
Thank you.
65. And a 14. Thank you very much. Okay, both of those are really interesting. Let me just write this down. So let us end with this. You guys will have a week in jump, and there's a couple of things that are going to happen during this jump, so we can deal with those as they go. But I will leave you with this. At one point, perhaps after checking in with Dr. Ilias and whatnot, and when everyone else, for the most part, is asleep, we see Ultima 1 make his way over to the computer port where he is staying. And he sits in the chair as if just making himself comfortable. And then his eyes seem to get kind of a different static across them. And there is some program that seems to have initiated in the ship's computer. And we'll find out what else is going on this trip in 2 weeks' time. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 20 of the Borderland Run. Next session, we may be arriving at Drinax to finally get to. Cool. I have the last. We did make an aborted attempt at running Pirates of Drinax a few years back. But we never actually met King Oleb. So this might be my first time being able to roleplay as King Oleb. That'll be fun. But for those listening at home, as is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. I think I mentioned this last time too, but there was a number of folks who had some very kind things to say about our players in this. Rest assured that when we do get those, I share them with the players on our private or player-only Discord servers too, so they do get your kind words as well as I do. Speaking of the Discord server, there's also a link in the description of this video to the Dungeon Musings Discord server. All of us are active there, and there's a number of channels dedicated to this campaign, most of the games we run on the channel, as well as a ton of other great channels like virtual tabletop information or GM discussion or just a general chatter. It's a really great community that has built up over the years over there, and you are more than welcome to join us. There is also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America, including a ton of great, reasonably priced, older Traveller stuff. Someone had asked before about some of the random encounter stuff, and the one book that I do use quite a bit for encounters that's from a previous edition is this one, Starports, from Mongoose Traveller First Edition. It is something for the Third Imperium. There's bits of it that have been reprinted in the Companion, both the first printing of the Second Edition Companion and the most recent one that just came out this week. But there's some stuff in there that has not been reproduced, and I really like that book quite a bit. There's a number of other helpful ones too, but that one in particular is in answer to someone's question. If you find, not only do they have a great selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, their out-of-print and hard-to-find RPG selection is quite impressive. And if they don't have something in stock that is listed there, you can put it on a want list. They'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase through their website, be sure to enter the code MuserWinter, which is good until April 15th, 2024. That'll save yourself 10% on your purchase. There is also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really incredible organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. All donations through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to benefit the kids who benefit from their services. And we will be having some way of thanking the donors through that service. I haven't figured out what that's going to be yet, because we have the first half of the year dedicated to a number of charity sessions that have been selected by the donors from last year. But we will figure some way of thanking you out. And if you do make a donation from January 1st, 2024, we'll figure some way of capturing all the donations that have been made from the beginning of the year until now. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart travelers. So Jeffrey, Graham, David, and Carl, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. This was a really, emblematic. Well, I always have fun in this campaign, but this is a really fun session. I expected it to be like, oh, we'll just, wrap up some stuff and go on. It ended up being a much more engaging session to run than I expected. So thank you very much for that. We'll be back in the jump space in between Drinax and Hilfer in 2 weeks' time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our travelers have seemingly overcome. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.